Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. We are joined by Moxie.
Oh, well, hello there. I'm a 7.5-foot tall paladin of Tyr with big blue hair, and great big shield and shiny armor.
Mortimer.
Hello, yes, skeleton horns and a steel hyena.
Mary.
Hi, I'm Amiri. I am a celestial warlock. I have a olive green scarf hooded that I use to cover up my cat ears.
You are all in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. The guild is a large building with a bar, a sitting area with wooden tables and chairs, and a wall with a corkboard and job flyers posted.
Mortimer's sitting kind of in the corner, and he's got Chauncey, his metal hyena, his throat is open, and he's got like a ratchet set, and he's like adjusting something in the throat of Chauncey. He's like, just one more, 7 more turns, and then we will finally be ready to go. Here we go.
Oh, well, hey there. That's an interesting looking project you've got there.
Yes, this is Chauncey, my faithful companion.
Well, hey there, Chauncey. And what are y'all getting into today?
Well, I figured we'd wait around here till somebody decided to recruit us for a job. But right now I'm kind of fixing Chauncey's voice box. I haven't quite gotten the laugh right. Still working on that. Anyways.
Well, we could always go check out the job board. Amiri's gonna say as she downs a glass of milk.
All right, yeah, let's go check over there. And Mr. Mortimer, sir, you keep working on that laugh. Laughter is one of the gifts that Tyr has given to us. So we got to make sure that's always up and running and ready to go. All right. So, job board. Let's see here. What do we got there, Amiri?
I'm just gonna guess we got Azreen.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Well, look, there's a bunch of tabs gone on that one, too. People must really be on the lookout.
That poster says, find cool or unusual stuff? Contact Azreen at Azreen's Unbelievable Stuff. There's also a second job flyer that says, posted by lawyers representing the estate of Mrs. Ruby Coco. Attached is a bag of ceramic coins. When peace has come to the sound of Sukla on the east suburbs of Metafov, these coins will turn into gold.
Well then.
Alrighty. Take a look at those ceramic coins, I guess, then.
She inspects them in her hand and sees that they look very similar to the gold coins that she has in her pouch, except that instead of being made out of gold, the intricate design on them is relieved by the white of ceramic, and that if she were to bite on one and put it in her teeth, it would taste and feel just like pottery.
Amiri's gonna cast Detect Magic on it.
You detect magic.
Well, they're magical, guys.
Well,
I'm curious to know what kind of spell it is that turns it to gold, because I would really like to know this so I could donate it all to Coddle.
Mortimer appears right behind you. You didn't hear him come up. He's like, yes, ceramic coins to gold. That sounds like some sort of transmutation. I know a wizard or two who can do that on a whim, although it only lasts about an hour.
huh. So I wonder, are we just supposed to, hang on to these and hope for the best, or are they asking for help, or?
Let me see that flyer for a second. When the peace comes, I think we're supposed to bring the peace. I think that's what that means right there.
I'm certainly good with that. I enjoy peace.
Well, taking a look at the coins, how many are there? Like, if this were to be converted, what would be the bounty?
If this were gold, then you guys, because I guess there's only 3 of you, would get 100 gold each.
That's a pretty hefty sum right there.
All right, and that was Rose Coco. Anybody know anything about a Rose Coco
Ruby Coco.
or Ruby Coco?
Ruby Coco.
Goodbye, Ruby.
Can't say I do.
Sounds like some sort of moisturizer, which would be useless to me.
Could we do a history check to see if we know anything about a Ruby Coco?
Sure.
I mean, I got a natural 20. And
Woo.
with no modifier.
2 plus no modifier, so no. I know
22
nothing.
myself.
Okay. Mary has traveled, but never west to Metafov. So you're knowledgeable about history and locales, just not in this area. The other two know that Sukla is famous for producing confectionaries.
Now the name makes sense. Confectionaries, cocoa, and all that. All right. Well, chocolates. Well, I think we should move on there and see if we can help these folks. I've finished Chauncey's voice box for as much as I can, and we'll just wait and see how that turns out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of non-piece you could have somewhere that's so delightfully delicious, but let's go. I mean, at the very worst, maybe we can just pick up some nice, decadent chocolates.
Possibly. At worst, we've wasted an afternoon.
An
Everybody
afternoon
do a
spent with
history
friends.
check.
It's never a waste. All right, another history.
14.
25.
Moxie is thinking about them chocolates. She got a 5.
The 14, the 25, and the 5 all know that this world, as is in accordance with historical Renaissance sort of fantasy worlds, hasn't yet received the gift of chocolate.
Wow.
Oh,
It's actually a
then
pretty modern invention.
Well, we should. That is a crime.
Magic.
As a lawful
But
good
magic,
character.
Fine.
Yeah, then everything we just said was anachronistic. Got it.
As a lawful good character, I cannot tolerate this.
Coco is such a unusual surname. So, what about powdered sugar? We have that, yeah?
Yeah, you guys, you've got sugar
Funnel
and-
cake.
Yeah.
Get some good old funnel cakes.
Yeah, you've got funnel cake.
Fried dough.
Fried dough. I remember when I used to eat fried dough. We should go.
Yeah.
We
All right,
should.
yeah. So, probably going to be a train ride to get to Metafov area.
Yep. If you guys want to subtract 1 gold from your character sheet, you can be stepping off the train at Metafov, which I don't think you've been to yet. It's not really a lot of adventures that have taken place at Metafov. Okay.
Yeah, I've never been.
All right, so you all step off of the train, and this is a bit different than the rest of the continent. Unlike the rest of Guaso, where the forest is familiar with the forests that you've seen and heard from before, these trees are heckin' tall. These are tall, and a lot of the green is above your heads. You look up, and you actually can't see any sky at all. It's all blotted out by leaves upon leaves upon leaves, and actually the vast majority of life forms are up in the canopy. This is a rainforest setting. And when you step off of the train, normally where there's a ticket booth and a map, I know you're going to ask for that. Normally those are on ground level, but in Metafov, all the buildings are up in the trees with rope bridges in between them.
Oh.
Well, this is just delightful.
A train on a rope bridge.
Well, I'm just excited. Let's, up, you think? Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, and considering that's where everybody seems to be. Otherwise, we're just wandering around on the ground.
My god kind of has wings, so this could be pretty fun.
Yeah, I gotta say, I like a place that makes me feel small. This is unique.
You guys are walking along the rope bridges. There's a path that heads out of Metafov with a sign on a tree, pointing that says Sukla in that direction.
Oh, follow the sign.
Well, I guess we go that way.
Okay. You're walking along. You hear the caw of birds, the chitter of monkeys, and you see the eyes of stalking cats. The trees are full of life.
I try to keep an eye on the cats to see if anyone of them looks like they're willing to give us a shot as a meal.
Are there any other civilians?
You guys have a bigger cat with you. I think you're safe.
Yes, there are civilians. As you walk up to the small town of Sukla, you spent an hour on the train and an hour between Metafov and Sukla walking through these rope bridges. The creak of the rope and wood underneath your feet has now become familiar to you. You're walking along with your hands holding the ropes and your feet finding purchase. There's gaps in these rope bridges, so you have to step very carefully. And you see some civilians. So the town of Sukla. There are 3 notable places that people are gathering. It seems like this is a Saturday, a shopping day, and everybody is out and about, and they're shopping at 3 major stores. One is a bakery. One is a gardening store. And one is a sweets shop.
Well, I think we should go over to the sweet shop first.
And there's lots of NPCs outside, so that's a yes on that.
Yeah, let's, don't mind if I do. Head over that way. So, is there a name on this sweets shop?
Yeah, it says Mally's.
Mally's.
The bakery says Cheryl's. And the gardening store says Lint.
All right. Hey, what was the name of the law firm on our flyer there? Mary, no. Mortimer, you had it last, I think, right? Yeah, you still have that?
It was a Ruby Cocoa.
That was the state, right? And the lawyers were...
Smith and Klein.
There it is. I was about to say, I have the keen mind feat, which means I remember everything in the past 30 days, so...
Well, let's, I'm gonna step inside this sweet shop while we're here.
Oh, absolutely.
Take a look around if, just kind of get in the queue here.
I'm gonna go look for the lawyer place.
Okay. We'll handle one thing at a time. So we're going to go
Yep.
with the Malleys first. So you are with a huge group of people. There's a line out the door. Everyone's going in and out, in and out. It's if you've ever been at like a really, really popular store where the door is propped open by people waiting in the doorway and then they're like curling around the outside of the building trying to get to the front. And every few 30 seconds or so, someone leaves and then the whole line shuffles forward. It's like that. So you're standing in line behind a drow waiting for the waiting for the sweet shop, and the line shuffles forward, and soon it's your turn. You find yourself, as soon as you step inside, the smell of sugar overpowers you. The display is colorful and bright, and I'm going to describe this thing. There's little gift bags that are clear, and inside the gift bags are squares that are crispy looking. They have crystallized sugar on the outside, and they're different colors: blue, red, clear, pink, yellow, orange, and green squares. The edges are hard and crispy with sugar, and that's what's for sale. It's a tenth of a gold for a bag.
Are there a lot of the bags?
So many. And there's a person standing at the front, and you can also see kind of into the back a little bit where there's hustle and bustle, and there's an area for you to...
Are there any kids or anything in line?
Yes. There's
All right, I'll spend...
a Loxodon child behind you in line.
I'll spend 2 gold and I'll give out some to the kids.
Oh my goodness. All right. Everybody cheers, and the crowd each receives a little packet of Kohakto. I guess you guys get a bag too. So you can write down in your inventory that you have a bag. Maybe not Mortimer. Sorry. Are you going to keep a bag for Mortimer?
Well, Moxie's also going to spend a gold to get, that'd be 10 bags, right?
Yeah.
So she's going to hang on to them.
They're delicious. Do you want to bite into one?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
As the crowd is clearing out and everyone has their candy, it's actually that cleared the room real quick.
You're welcome.
You're able to bite into this. It's crispity and crunchity on the outside and gummy on the inside.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. They're called Kohakto. They're really easy to make if you have agar-agar sugar and coloring. This leaves the people in the shop available to talk to you.
Well, this is really good. She's got like stuff all in her teeth, trying to eat around the gummy. Sorry, excuse me there. These are delicious. I just want to give my compliments to the team behind the counter here. This is really just quite the little treat here.
A half-elf blushes and says, "Thank you." She's wearing a name tag that says Mally.
These are really good there, Mally.
Thanks.
So we're kind of new to this area, Mally. Is there anything that we need to make sure we check out while we're here?
Yeah, there's a lot of great things to do in town. It's really good for visitors. This is a great tourist location. And she's since the shop is empty, she's going to like walk around the counter and get a little bit closer to you because she's not at the checkout anymore. She takes out some flyers for other fun things to do, like the Cheryl's Bakery and Lint, the gardening supply store, and she hands you some little pamphlets for those areas.
Oh.
And once you guys are served, she sits down at a table because now she has some space to herself. You can see the table's full of vials. There's a vial with a flower floating in syrup. There is a vial with a flower, like the syrup's a different color, and she takes out a paintbrush and she starts painting on the flower with some sugar water.
Oh, that I have never seen that before. That is really interesting. Hey, does the name Ruby Coco mean anything to you?
She stops painting and looks up at you and says, yeah, that was my mom.
Okay.
Oh.
I am so sorry. My sympathies. My condolences. We are from the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild, and there was a notice from a law firm, Smith & Klein. Is any of this ringing any bells with ya?
She looks perplexed, but keeps listening.
Yeah, there's something about, like, peace needing to be fostered in this area, or something?
She sets down the flower and the paintbrush, and she tilts her head, and she says, "My mom hired you guys to promote peace here? That's super weird. I don't know what that might be about. I think it's going pretty well." She gestures around at her store, how she's got several clerks working for her, and the line out the door, and she's like, "Everything's going really great."
Yeah, it seems very nice.
The door to the shop opens, a bell tinkles, and Yin Li walks in. Yin Li, what do you look like?
I am a banshee white skin with some blue markings on it.
Okay. Our heroes were just talking to Mally, the owner of a confectionery store, who is absentmindedly painting sugar onto flowers, trying to figure out how to turn them into something sweet to eat, while discussing her deceased mother with our heroes. And the plot this time is that the Mrs. Ruby Coco hired our heroes. When peace has come to the town of Sukla, these coins, and there's a bag of ceramic coins, will turn into gold.
All
right.
Oh, hi, Ian.
Ah, a ghost. No. Oh, sorry. Always startles me.
So, Mally, your mother sent these coins over here, too. Do you have any idea what this could be about? It says when peace comes, it turns to gold.
She accepts the coin from you, turns it over in her fingers, and even takes a little bite out of it.
Oh, be careful. It might
It's not
chip.
gilt. Oh, it's not. And it's really a ceramic coin. She hands it back to you saying, I don't know, my mom, she was a full elf, a high elf. She was able to do magics that I can't even dream of, so I don't know what this is. And looking at her, you can see that she is a half elf.
All right. Well, maybe you could point us in the direction of Smith and Klein, the law firm that is representing the estate of your dearly departed mother.
Sure. And she points. You all walk out onto these rope bridges that make up the town. Rope bridges and buildings suspended in trees in a canopy setting where all of the life lives up off of the ground in the trees. You step outside into that, and indeed there is across the way a building that says Smith & Klein Law Firm, where you meet up with Mortimer.
And before we leave, I'm going to be like, Mally, if you ever want to branch out, I know a great place you could open up a shop in Nicomoy.
Oh?
Yeah, it's a great location right by our guild hall. You'd get tons of people there.
Oh, well, yeah, you should come talk to me about that for sure later.
I can do that.
Mortimer, you had stepped into this law firm a few minutes ago. We're going to continue with you, and then we'll let the party join up with you. So, Mortimer, you stepped into this wooden structure that says Smith & Klein.
Okay. Is there a receptionist or something?
Sure, there's a receptionist and some chairs. Everything's got, let's say that inside space is at a premium because you're in trees, and there's a limit to how much they can hold up. But despite that, this is one of the larger buildings in town.
All right. I walk up to the reception area and hello, I am Mortimer Wormwood. I am with the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild. We had received a job flyer from your company, and I was wondering if it's possible to ask some details.
Sure. She accepts the flyer from you, but it's totally blank to her, and she just looks at you.
Right. Unfortunately, you need special magics in order to read that. But yeah, it was. I don't know if you could contact me with one of your the partners of the firm or whatever. We could discuss. Because honestly, it seems very peaceful here already, so we're a little confused about why we need to bring peace to Sukla. So if I could just...
Oh, this is regarding the estate of Mrs. Ruby Coco, right? She pages lawyer Klein, and you're able to meet in a small side room. This is a... I like the idea of Loxodons living up here. So this is another Loxodon lady. And the Loxodon lady, lawyer Klein, says, oh, yes, of course you're confused. Yes. So we are representing the estate of Mrs. Ruby Coco. We don't really know why she did this. Mm-hmm. We do know that she did want it done. And that's all our job is to make sure that the will be enacted. So yes, she said, hire a guild to do this, bring peace to the town of Sukla, and I don't know what that means, but I did my job.
Well, all right then. Interesting. Would she happen to have a place of residence she occupied that we could investigate, so possibly find some clues as to what this unrest
The
is?
home was sold and divided between her 3 children, yes.
Okay. And her children are...
Mally, Cheryl, and Lint.
Aha. Those sound familiar.
And
Well then...
as you guys are talking, oh wait, no, are you still, you can keep going.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that is all the information I think I require. I shall inquire elsewhere with my inquiries, and I bid you a good day.
You step out into the lobby, and the moment you enter the room, the exterior door opens, and Yin Li, Moxie, and Ameri walk in, and you're all in the lobby together.
Oh, I see we've picked up more adventurers.
Yes, we also brought you some chocolate.
Ah, well, I appreciate the gesture.
Kohakto.
Yeah.
The little
Kohakto.
bags of things are called Kohakto.
They're really neat. They're kind of chewy in the center and crunchy on the outside.
Ah, well, I have a distinct lack of meat. So tasting things is not really a thing I do anymore. But I appreciate it nonetheless.
That's awkward.
skeleton.
All right, then. Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, I just...
No, that's on us. We were not thinking. That was very insensitive of us as a team to not consider
by all means,
that.
I'm very used to it at this point. Honestly, I enjoy it because I like seeing the rest of you squirm when I mention it. But either way, I did find out some information here.
Yeah,
Apparently,
good, yeah.
the estate has been divided up amongst Ms. Coco's children's by the names of Cheryl, Lint, and Mally.
Okay, the 3 stores here in town.
Yes, and so I think we should discuss with them and see if there's a house or something we can investigate. See, says something. By the way, I am Mortimer Wormwood. I say to Yin Li. Yes.
Yeah, Mortimer's pretty
As I
great.
say-
He's got this nice little pupper right here.
Ah, yes.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Real quick on our flyer there, is it peace like pieces or like peace like peace and prosperity?
Peace.
EACE.
All right, just checking. You
Peace
never
and
know
prosperity.
sometimes.
It's good to check, I guess.
And is it a capital P or a lowercase p?
A lowercase p.
All right, good. So we know it's not a person. Good deal.
It's not a proper noun.
You
no.
gotta check these things and learning. You know, in the guild, they start teaching little tricks.
It's good to know.
So,
Yes, so
we should check with the other siblings. Mally seemed just right and proper happy.
Yeah, she was really sweet, wasn't
Yeah.
she?
Maybe
Ha,
a little
ha, ha.
something. Seemed a little disparaging about the fact that she's not a full elf, but that could have just been me overreading. But so that's my hot take. I wave at the
Look.
receptionist.
She's happy to have something to watch. She looks up from her soaps on a little screen underneath the desk. She's like,
right, we're still in the reception area. Well, we should be off then. Should we see Chauncey or not Chauncey?
What are you
I'm sorry,
watching
Chauncey.
there?
We're not seeing you. You're right here already. I'm sorry.
He's a good boy, Chauncey.
So we're going to see Cheryl or Lint? That seems you've already spoken with Mally.
I could go for a bakery.
I believe that's Cheryl.
Yeah. I mean, the Kohakto could go really well with some bread, or
Right.
All right.
Something sweet like a donut if they got a donut.
Right. As we're leaving, I'm going to leave some Cohocto for the receptionist for putting up with us.
Oh, she loves. Is it like the best Saturday at work she's ever had?
Yeah. No one
Saturday.
should have to work on a Saturday. Here's a little treat for you.
She says thank you, and that was really nice of you.
Mm-hmm. All right, to Cheryl's. Come, Chauncey. And Chauncey, the steel hyena, comes wandering, and he laughs a little, but it's not a hyena laugh. It's kind of disturbing because it's just like,
Okay.
Yeah. Still a little fine tuning to do there, but it's coming along. Yeah.
Why? Sounds perfect.
All right then.
Off to Cheryl's.
Okay. Our heroes step outside onto the rope bridges, placing their feet carefully because there is enough space to fall through these rope bridges. You're holding on tight. Like, how is everyone so comfortable with this? The children are laughing and running along the rope bridges at top speed. The Loxodons are pounding on the rope bridges. You're like, oh, holding on tightly. Some of you, I guess, who's...
It's okay, I'll land on my feet.
Right,
I
yeah.
will just be floating a couple feet up.
Yeah, some of you are fine. You don't mind at all. I guess Moxie, the 7.5-foot tall person, might be the only one. And Mortimer, are you guys?
I think Mortimer's pretty light. However, Chauncey is made of metal, so that's a little scary.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little nerve-wracking, but if the Loxodons can do it, I can certainly just hang on tight here and just watch where my feet are going.
So courageously you walk forward along the normal pathway that children happily skip along and make your way to Cheryl's Bakery. Again, the bell tinkles as the door opens and you guys step inside. Much like Mally's Confectionery, this store is also full of customers. People are like crammed in. Everybody's holding trays and they have like a pincher thing in their hand, and they've picked up baked goods with a pincher and set it onto little sheets of wax paper, and they're standing in line.
Tongs?
Yeah, tongs. Yeah, and they're standing in line with their tray of fresh baked goods, waiting to buy them, and they're also 1/10 of a gold each.
I suppose I'll spend a couple more gold and buy rounds for everybody here.
Again, the store clears out. Everybody, your name is starting to spread. Everyone's like, who bought us all little cupcakes? And it's Ameri, and they're all like, oh, Ameri is great. Yay, Ameri.
Right.
Everybody leaves the store. I guess 3 gold would buy all of the baked goods. So it's sold out for the day. The store flips its sign to closed, and a bunch of happy people leave with muffins and blueberry muffins. And the specialty of this shop is baking fruit into things. So there's
Ooh.
blueberry muffins, and there's like an apricot Danish with cream cheese. And there's
Do they have any banana bread?
banana bread.
I will be having some of that.
Yes, you have an entire mini loaf of banana bread. It's like 5 pieces long.
Bit unconventional, but would they have anything that might be fungi? Sort of a taste of
Sure.
home?
Yes. There is a goat cheese, mushroom, and spinach pastry that has a little bit of chives on it, and the mushroom flavor really brings it all together.
Yinli will definitely buy some then.
What?
Yinli will definitely buy some then.
All right. It's 1/10 of a gold.
Well, I guess Moxie will step up to the counter. Hi there. Could we speak to, is Sherry of Sherry's Bakery? Is she around here anywhere?
Cheryl.
Cheryl?
Sure.
Cheryl.
The intern, he is a drow, and he turns around and heads into the back, and he gets a half elf who comes out, and she looks very similar to the Mally. She's got the same facial features. You can tell there's a resemblance.
Well, hi, Cheryl. How are you doing today?
She says, "Are you guys the ones who bought the store out? Wow, thank you. This is a great day."
Oh, you are very welcome. I just did the same to your sisters too.
Oh, Mally?
Yes.
Wow, are you guys like in town from a big city? Where are you tourists?
Yeah, we're we're not really tourists. We're here with the Fire Breathing Kittens. We're actually from Nicomoy. We're a guild.
Oh,
We got this flyer from Smith and Klein about your mother.
oh,
Well, our condolences also, by the way.
Our
oh, thank
deep
you.
condolences. I was so sad when I heard.
Yeah.
But she gave us these coins, and it said that they will turn to gold when peace is brought
Oh,
here. So,
Oh, she looks around at her store and at how she's got an intern working and an apprentice baker and how every business is hopping and her baked goods are delicious. And she goes, "Well, it is pretty peaceful already in this. I mean, I'm not really sure what Mom was going for there.
Is everything
I guess I could.
good between you and your siblings? You happy with your sister and other sibling?
Yeah, I mean, Lint, that's my brother, and Mally, my sister, like, we used to work together, but, although, it's different to be working apart, but, we each are pursuing something that we enjoy. Everybody loves delicious things, right?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The banana bread and the Kohakto are really good.
Thank you. Yeah, banana bread, it's okay, but, like, I really want, like, a strong acidic fruit to go into cake, don't you think? Like, I don't know. One of these days.
Like a orange?
Ooh, yes.
Orange
Like
bunt,
a nice little
perhaps?
citrus?
Yeah, or like I don't know, there's a fruit down on the ground, but it's dangerous to go down there. You guys are adventurers, right?
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, if you happen to be on the ground for some other reason, then if you happen to see some like really acidic fruit with a strong punch, that would make a great cake.
Sure, we could see what we could do if we have to go down.
Yeah, salt, fat, acid, heat. You really need that acid, you know?
Yeah, that certainly makes sense to me.
She wipes her nose and puts flour on it.
Do you all up here ever have any issues with down on the ground stuff?
I'm going to hand her a napkin off the counter.
Oh, she thanks you and puts it in her pocket. The flour's still on her face. Oh, yeah, on the
I'm
ground.
going to be like, oh,
she...
you are.
Oh, that's just part of being a baker. She shakes her head and it falls off. Well, the ground's kind of dangerous. We don't go on the ground very much. No.
All right, then. Mortimer, Yin Li, do you all have any follow-up inquiries?
What is it that makes the ground dangerous? Perhaps that could be what the peace that needs to be brought.
Well, it's just kind of always been that way. There's like big dinosaurs down there. Not safe. No. They can't climb though, so it's fine up here.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Would your mother have kept a diary or a journal or something of that nature that we could possibly take a look at?
I don't know. I mean, we emptied out her house and parsed and sold all her belongings last month, and that was rough. But yeah, that's all done. We didn't really keep anything other than photos, and I kept her baking trays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would it be
What did Mally or Lint possibly inherit?
We sold everything and then we divided it equally. It seemed fair.
Yeah.
would it be possible for us to investigate the house?
We sold that. No, there's a cute young couple living in it now.
I apologize if this is a sensitive subject, but, investigations sometimes, we have to get a little personal. Is there a father figure in your lives or that maybe would have some additional information from your
Dad?
mother? Yes.
Yeah, so Dad was a human. He passed quite some time ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my condolences.
Yeah.
All
Dad
right.
was a really good guy. He he used to grow little plants. I think that's where Lint got it from. And he would try to make them survive in little glass houses. And always trying to figure out good things to eat from plants. Yeah, Dad was a real influence on all of us.
Well, maybe your brother Lint could grow some of those acidic fruits up here then. Have you worked with him on that?
Maybe I should. That's a good idea. I wouldn't mind working together with him again. It's just hard to find overlap, you know.
Well, it sounds like
But
a
could you
good
get
one.
like the seeds in a market or anything, or is that something you gotta get like from the fruit down there?
I don't even know where the seed is in that fruit. If you guys find out, you're welcome to investigate. I don't.
All
Where
right.
is the seed? She like looks confused. She's like thinking to herself, like, where is the seed? I don't. And this will make sense later.
All right. Well,
Oh, and the dad's name is Yuvan. Yuvan Coco.
you bought.
Hmm.
Well, all right then. I guess.
Oh, and I should explain. When a human and a high elf make a family, the human sadly only lives like at most 100 years, and the high elf lives for like I don't know, like 1,000 years. So it's a sad family thing.
I get
or
it.
it's a
I'm an
beautiful
elf.
family thing to still love each other, knowing that you have such a
Right.
limited time together, and to watch your
Oh.
loved one grow old. I mean,
Aw.
yeah, I know. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful story. And sad. But also, we should go talk to the brother. Just,
It beats the one night stand story.
well, I guess that just depends on your story.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're all talking about. I can't be a family anymore. Being,
Oh, because you're undead.
yeah, bones.
Ah.
You can adopt.
Anymore though.
Likewise.
You can both
Anymore
adopt.
though. I mean,
Yeah, that's I already have Chauncey to look after, and he's already an
Handful.
asshole.
Wow.
Hmm?
Handful.
Yes, and then some.
Well,
I mean, you guys could take care of the kids at the academy too.
Yeah. Look. Oh, with all their drooling and breathing. Ugh, no, I shall not.
But they're so sweet.
That is.
Let's.
I saw a TikTok yesterday that was like how 6-year-olds drink anything, and it was like gulp, gulp, gulp. Sorry.
yeah.
Oh, the trueness.
They take such a deep breath after each gulp. Keep going.
Is it weird that I remember being a 6-year-old and drinking like that?
No, makes sense.
pretty common.
Yeah. Either way, so I think maybe we should try to see if maybe Lint has any information thus far. I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic, but it seems like kind of just spinning in circle.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sounds like at the very worst, this place is already just hunky-dory and happy, and we just, don't get magic
Yeah,
coins.
and I mean it seems like right now the relationship between Mally and Cheryl is okay. I don't see where we would have to bring peace to. I mean, other than finding this fruit for Cheryl.
I do want to say, just for my own personal, like, if we have time to go check out and just, like, take a peek at a dinosaur, I would be super into that. Just a little peek, just a little looky-loo. Just
I'm thinking we kind of got to do that right now anyway.
but, well, Cheryl, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, sure. And she gives you all cookies.
Oh,
Thank you for buying at my store. I really appreciate it. Come back anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you for the cookie. I really appreciate it. And he tries to on the sly hand it to Chauncey and see if he'll eat it. And Chauncey smells it and then chews it,
robot?
but doesn't actually eat it. It just kind of turns it into crumbs.
Oh, he Muppets it?
Yeah, he Muppet eats it. And it's just crumbs all over the place. He's like, Well, this is awkward. Well, we're gonna leave. And he just walks out, like, kind of embarrassed, just leaves.
We're gonna dub him the Cookie Monster.
Yinli's just going to bow and eat it as she floats out after.
Yeah, no, I wish I could float. It looks so graceful.
All you have to do is be cursed.
Well, you could be cursed with the ever-loving grace of Tyr to make you float.
Well, no, that's a weird way to say blessed. That's...
That too?
So, Moxie's just gonna... Oh, look at this plant. Right. Oh, it's an interesting one over this way. How about that?
She's examining one of the tiny potted trees outside of the gardening store, which says lint over the top of it. Inside this maybe 2-inch tall pot is an entire little tiny tree. It's so cute.
Oh my goodness. Is this for sale? I look around.
Yes, it's 2,000 gold.
Oh.
I just admire it. Yeah, that is... Oh, boy.
Don't touch it.
No, just, we look with our eyes, not with our hands.
There's a description for me to give for you here. It's a thin trunk with thin branches, straight line up, straight line out, with these really wide, broad leaves. There's maybe only like 5 leaves on this plant, but each one of them is a third of the size of the entire tree. And budding out from the trunk itself is a yellow pod. It's just right on the trunk. It's like that's an odd place for a seed to come out of. You're used to, isn't apples kind of hang from like the ends? The branches just comes right out from the middle.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well then.
It certainly seems unusual.
Well,
Should we, I don't have the gold to buy out this store, apparently.
There's maybe 3 people wandering around inside. Tourists from Metafov. They're here just to bring back something really nice. These make great gifts. Yeah.
You perhaps could if you indentured yourself for several decades.
Oh.
I don't think we need to do that. That'll be all right.
No.
Is there,
Just saying, there are options.
I think I'm okay.
Walk into the store and see if I could find anybody with a name tag. This is Lint.
Sure. The store is mostly dry goods. There's potting mixes, pots, fertilizers, varieties of sand and loam, etc. There's one person inside this store. It's just Lint in here. He's got his trees outside and his dry goods inside. It's a pretty laid-back place. There's decorations. There's these metal birds that you can hammer into your tree to make it look like there's a bird perching on your tree. There's all sorts of stuff inside.
Hello, you must be Lint.
He nods his head at you and says, "Hello, welcome to Lint. Lint's Bonsais."
I'm with a particular organization called the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild, and we were hired by Smith & Klein through we were hired by your mother through Smith & Klein, and something about bringing peace to Sukla. Ring any bells for you, possibly? That is, of course, if your mother is Ruby Coco.
Yes, that was my mom's name. Yeah. I'm sorry, what is going on?
Oh, sorry. Your mother, Ruby Coco, hired Smith & Klein to hire a guild after her passing to, and I quote, bring peace to Sukla, end quote.
Oh. But it's pretty peaceful here.
Yeah, we've been kind of having the same vibe ourselves. But the thing is also in this contract it states that these coins shall be turned to gold once peace is brought to Sukla. And usually we have these coins, they're ceramic coins, and they are not gold. So
oh.
and we've verified it ourselves. There is magic on the coins, so we were hoping to find some clue as to what this piece she might be speaking of is.
Oh, well, I can try to help. There's dangerous beasts below us. Maybe it has something to do with that. I guess. I personally think that the vines growing on the bottoms of the trees need to be contained, and it has been a while since we trimmed those. Vines are great, but they grow a lot faster than trees, and they can suffocate them. They're killing the trees in this part of the forest, but it's dangerous to go down there and trim them. I was about to do that, but I've been putting it off because, dangerous beasts. So.
Mm-hmm. As much as that, it sounds like a necessity. It doesn't sound like there's a war or a lack of peace going on, though. This peace is usually
suffocating trees. It's not really in a tree village.
Well, who would normally have been taking care of those vines? It couldn't have just been you this whole time. There has to be, some community involvement, surely.
We'll do it. I mean, like, I would appreciate you doing it, but it's like cleaning out the gutters, where it's a task that you don't really want to do. And if someone else offers, you're like, sure, that's definitely a problem with our peace. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I see. All right. Well,
Oh, you know what would be great for peace is if we had, there's these giant boars on the ground. If you were to kill a giant boar, we could roast it, and then we could have like a luau, and then everyone could celebrate, and that would be a big gesture of peace. Maybe she just wanted a proper send-off party.
it's,
So boars and dinosaurs down there?
and fruit. Don't forget the fruit. Also, speaking of fruit, your sister Cheryl, there could be some cross interests there. She needs some acidic fruits grown, and says that you're quite the little horticulturalist. So maybe you could work together to grow whatever it is she needs, and for her cakes, and then you could have a joint business effort.
Yeah, she brought up this fruit that's down there on the ground. She said that she can't really go get because it's really dangerous down there.
I do have a fruit I've been growing. This is the one that Mom really liked, but no one else really likes it. Here, I'll go get some for you. And he goes out and he brings back a huge, like, fist-sized yellow pod.
Does it look like the
It's-
tiny pod?
Yeah, it's the same species he was bonsaiing. Some of them he brings out a whole armful. Some of them are yellow, some of them are red, some of them are green, and some have aged all the way to dark brown. And he says, yeah, I know that Dad really liked them, and I get that has like a sentimental value, and he cuts one open, you can see it's pink on the inside. He's like, go ahead and try it. And everybody, you're welcome to try.
I'll try one.
Okay. Anybody else trying some?
What color one is he cut open?
A yellow, green, orangish one where it's not dark black. It's pretty fresh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Y'all trying the fresh fruit? Mortimer, would you like some fruit?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Maybe Chauncey would?
No, he doesn't feel like making another mess.
So it reminds you kind of like a raspberry flavor, except that it's very tart and it kind of makes your mouth feel dry. It's not good. It's edible. You wouldn't want more.
Well, what if we sprinkled a little sugar on this? Would that assist?
You think about putting another bite in your mouth and you reject the idea. You're like, I don't want to eat more of this. It is food. That's true.
Maybe you have to
It's
cook
not.
it. Maybe how did your dad like this? What was the preparation on it? Maybe that's the key.
Dad would slice it and then invert the peel and eat it like mango chunks. Dad was weird.
Well, all
I
right
could see
then.
this being sold fairly easily to different
Tourists?
prisons and jails for the sake of interrogations.
He nods and says, that's a good idea. Yeah, we've got so much. I mean, if we could sell it, that'd be a good revenue source for Sukla. I wouldn't wish that upon prisoners, though.
Well,
It depends on the
they
person.
broke the law. So therefore, they shouldn't get free good food, right?
He hands you the handful and he says, I guess if you want to take it over to Mally, you can. And he gives you a big, like, we are talking 2 wagonfuls of beans. And he's like, have at it. Maybe she can do something with this.
I will spend the time to ritual cast Unseen Servant to have it carry as much as it can, in addition to what we carry.
Excellent.
Well,
You have acquired your carrying capacity each of these pod things.
all right then.
I guess we go drop these off to Mally when we're done here.
Well, that would be Sherry or Cheryl. Well, maybe Mally can do something to make them sweet. I know.
We could always do 2 each. Divide it up.
Maybe we just need to find a picnic table, sit down, and figure out what we think we need to do with the rest of our time. Because I am not sure what sort of peace we're supposed to be bringing.
Same.
I'm kind of lost on that too.
So what do you do with your carrying capacity amount of bean pods?
Split it up 2 each to Cheryl and Mally.
Like 200 each to...
Like
You have hundreds and hundreds of bean pods.
Yeah,
2, like me and Moxie bring ours over to Mally and the other 2 over to Cheryl.
I don't think that math works out because my carrying capacity is for shit.
yeah. So, let's
Unless you
just
count
take
Chauncey's.
we'll take 100 pounds over to Mally and 100 pounds over to Sherry, and I'll tell Lent
Yeah,
that I'll
that works.
swing back by and pick up the remains on our way out of town.
I'll keep 5 pods myself, but Unseen Servant and
All right.
myself will carry some of the others.
And I'll
As Moxie walks with this huge, heavy load of bean pods, her legs wobble on the you're on rope steps, right? So the wind catches the bridge slightly, and you sway in the breeze, and you're like, "Oh gosh, why am I here?"
I'm gonna shake it on her.
Moxie, Mary is shaking the rope bridge behind you.
Yeah, don't. If you could maybe just not. That's it's fun. It's fun. I dropped some pods, so that's.
You watch as it falls down and down and down between some leaves, and you actually don't hear anything. You don't hear a
Yeah,
thud or
so if you
anything.
could just
The
stop
ground is-
with the shaking, it'd be great.
You could just float.
Yeah, just I feel like if I fall off, I'd be floating for sure once I landed. And, straight up to Tyr.
Perhaps, or perhaps somewhere else.
No, definitely to Tyr.
Well, you'll find out one day eventually.
So Mally and Cheryl both receive hundreds of pounds of bean pods from their brother Lint, and they're like, "Cool, thanks."
Yeah, just do a little experimentation here. Your dad apparently was into these. Your mom liked to keep them. I figured, throw some sugar on there, maybe saute them a little bit. Hey, maybe go the other way. Maybe it needs salt. And just, spend the afternoon. We bought you out. You got the whole afternoon. Just have a little fun with it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Very good point. All right, so they are working on that.
And I kind of
Alright,
just
so-
hey, what kind of dinosaurs are down there?
Are
Moxie
you
leans
asking?
over. Let's see.
Cheryl was the one that had the dinosaurs.
Oh, Cheryl wants the acidic fruit, right? So she says, "Yeah, they're fluffy and really angry.
Fluffy dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do they walk on 2 feet or 4?
2.
Do they talk?
No. They just kick you.
Fluffy dinosaurs. That is crazy to think about.
Well, now consider my curiosity just entirely piqued. I'm gonna talk to my teammates.
Okay, you guys are standing on the rope bridges between some buildings next to a very large tree. The rope bridge is secured onto this tree and goes all the way around it in a cute little like circle. So you can see the sights and walk around the tree and
I put my back right up against the tree.
safety.
So, what do we think is our next step in this little mystery?
Well, if we can obtain some bones, I could cast an augury. Perhaps get some information that way.
Moxie looks directly at Mortimer.
I'm currently using all of mine. Well, I guess the question would be, would I get them back?
Oh yeah, they might fall between the wooden slats.
That might be something, a matter of if someone has a tarp or something else to ensure they don't fall.
Well, you could roll up here inside my shield. We could just flip it over here. The big shield.
Then they would need to be small bones, but that should work.
Or I got some fine clothes we could like wrap them in, and
Or
You don't need to carve
nothing's
anything into them, do you?
No,
I mean, these are my bones. They are kind of
not
me.
not unless you want them to be.
No, I'd rather keep them as they are.
I
you
can
don't
just
want a
use some
tattoo?
chalk for the markings.
Okay. Mortimer pulls off his hand.
this is my favorite thing that we have ever done.
You can try using some of these knuckle bones. Like I said, I would just, if I could have them all back, it would be preferable. And as point of note, in case something does happen, it's his non-dominant hand. So,
Okay.
actually, no, it's his foot. He takes off his foot. There's plenty of small bones in his foot.
Yeah. And Moxie's shield is real big because she's a
Yeah.
real big lady. So
I shall make some markings to ensure that it is put back together correctly. Wouldn't want your
Appreciate it.
pinky switched with a different toe.
But that's fine. They reassemble themselves after the fact. It's just don't lose them.
Have you ever lost one before and then had to find it?
I have. It's a giant pain. Children once took off with my skull, and I couldn't see or hear anything, and I had to go wandering around for it. By the way, how's this augury going?
Investigate the ground will help us with the piece.
I'm gonna make you role play. Tell me about how you throw them toe bones in the shield.
So I'm going to take them off of the foot itself and make the markings slowly with chalk. And then just shake them around in my hand, blow on them softly, and then just drop them onto the overturned shield from about a couple inches up.
They make the sound of metal and bone. I guess. You can hear like ding 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 as they jostle around and come to rest inside the shield. The angle of the bones overlapping and laying on one another, and the way that the chalk is written on them lets you interpret the results from the divine augury. And I'm holding the spell in my hand. So Dungeons and Dragons has, by casting gem-inlaid sticks, rolling dragon bones, laying out ornate cards, or employing some other divining tool, which in this case is Mortimer plus shield, you receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following possible results. So your omen is wheel for good results. going down and taking on a dinosaur would be a good thing. And specifically, the luau, you get this mental picture of the luau. That is what it takes to bring peace.
Well, gotta say, the clickety-clack sound of those bones rolling, that was something about that. Just real delightful, real familiar.
Amiri's gonna be like, well, that was kind of a little
Reminds
disturbing.
me of some ceremonies in the Underdark with the house. Could perhaps even start a band with this as an instrument. Of course,
we just
not
give
with
those back to Mortimer now.
foot, but with other bones.
Oh, well, I can play the xylophone.
Seems we have two different sources of instruments then. And I would let them know what I'd seen and say, I believe that we should focus on taking down some of the terrible beasts as well as a boar to catch.
So Moxie grins real big and goes, so we get to go see the dinosaurs? Is that your foot bones? They agree with that. Oh, this is...
That is what it seems to be.
Priest here. This is going to be fun.
All right, I'm gonna take my foot back, and he sticks his stub near the bones, and the kind of like magnets just also and reassemble. He wiggles his toes a little, and then puts his boot back on.
Amiri's gonna look at Moxie and go, you know, I just kind of thought of this. You know what would really go good with this bread? Some soup.
Oh, yeah. If only we had that time for some soup, I would... Like a nice bisque would be good. Wonder if you could stew
Maybe that's
those
something
fruit.
we could bring up to Cheryl.
A nice slow cook. All right, yeah.
All right.
That's what could go with the salt. Put the salt in the stew. It could go good.
Get some turmeric, some bay leaves. All right, yeah. Let's to the forest floor and beyond.
Yeah, we go to the forest floor, I guess.
How do you
Is
go to
there
the
like
forest floor?
We jump.
Elevator or something to go down?
No, kidding.
I'm going to use Wild Shape to turn into a giant strider and climb down.
Oh, what's a strider?
It is a type of large monstrosity that my subclass is able to turn into.
Okay.
Like
Are they really good at
big
climbing?
Spider.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, so your party's
no.
going to react to that.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They've really got to start handing out some new hire pamphlets so that we know what everybody's doing. That's a lot of legs.
Yin Li successfully reaches the bottom. I'm not going to question the 8 legs' ability to climb.
Do we
How do
ride
the rest
down,
of you?
Could we ride down on the strider, or is that too much weight?
Is there like a spiral ladder?
Might be able to carry Mortimer just due to the.
No. Well, I have.
Yeah, probably not there.
I also have Chauncey with me, who is a medium-sized steel construct. So
we could just go back and
also
ask
be
Lent.
heavy.
He said he had to go down and trim vines periodically, so there must be some way for local people to get down without turning into giant spider drider people.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Just kind of chitter and just like, I'm
Yeah.
already turned into it.
No, you do you.
I mean,
Maybe you can follow along with everybody else on the underside of the path.
If we pass people, Moxie's going to be like, don't worry,
And
she's with us.
and
It's
Amiri
fine.
is gonna like pet Nahiri and go, snakes? Okay. Spiders?
It's your next pet. Okay, you're
No.
talking to Lint. Lint says, yeah, we just carefully climb down. It's not that big a deal.
Hmm.
Everybody here is really good at climbing, so it's, you'll be fine.
Do you have any
He-
rope or...
Pats you on the shoulder. Sure, he sells you some rope for gold. You get so much rope. All the rope you could possibly need.
All right, well, we're going to do some of the
Okay.
work for you there, but I guess I'll pay for this rope from you. Fine.
I have an expressway down, so. As soon as we're ready to go.
Sure. Yeah. Tell me how you get down.
Oh, me and Chauncey just leap off the edge.
Okay. How
And
do you
then-
do with 200 feet of falling?
Featherfall.
Feather. Wait. Oh, you can cast Featherfall on your allies. Wow. Okay. Featherfall.
I can
on-
actually do it on the whole group. So I probably would go to jump and realize hold on. I'm gonna jump down and cast a spell to mitigate the damage from the fall. Is anyone else doing the same? Or are you gonna climb down using the rope?
Well,
Also,
I don't have
should
a
probably
spell.
tie the rope off.
Yeah, I don't have a spell either.
All right. Well, then, do you want to join me, or are you just gonna climb down?
Well, if you've got a fun spell that'll make us not die and let us just jump off, that sounds like a real thrill
And
ride.
quicker.
I just let me double check the amount of people I can.
It's up to 6.
That's
I think.
right. I knew it was more than 1 or 2. I just couldn't remember the exact number.
Yinli's,
yeah.
Yinli is going to still climb down because she's already shifted into this form. And if she finds any squirrels, birds, whatever along the way that she can grab, she's just going to try and chew them and be eating it on the way down.
Oh.
All of those poor squirrels.
Up to 5 people, by the way. Sorry, I just looked up the spell.
Okay. Well, there's only
Up to 5.
4 of us, including Chauncey. Well, there's even if Yinli were to fall for some reason, I could still get her. So
All right, well,
her, him, they. I don't know.
Her. Yeah.
Her.
Okay.
So, all right, with a little bit fuller spider at the bottom.
Still
What
chewing it
happened?
at the bottom, visibly.
Like, okay. You all reach the bottom. You're standing on firm ground. It's been a while.
that was just a joy. That was fun time.
If only I had hair, I could feel the wind through it.
Oh, Mortimer.
All right, so we're looking for boar.
I will describe the setting for you. There is dense undergrowth underneath the high canopy. In terms of biomass, you would say that more than 90% of it is up off of the ground, but even what's down here is incredibly dense. The undergrowth is spiky and difficult to walk through. It's everywhere you try to step, a spiky rosette-style bush stabs at your feet. And perception check? Make sure to tell me your number and if you're looking up or down.
Crit 20. I'll look up.
14 down?
13, just around.
Up or down?
Up.
I got a 17. I guess I'll look down.
Okay. So just to clarify, did anybody get under 15?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a 14.
Okay. All right. So who's looking down?
Me.
Mortimer.
Okay. All right. So it looks like we've got one success on both. Mary succeeded looking up, and Mortimer succeeded looking down. Mary, you see, looking up, above your heads, hanging in a cluster from thick wooden branches, is a vine that has lines of flowers trailing from it. The flowers look kind of like strawberries. They're like delicious looking. And then the people who are looking down, in the middle of the rosette is a scaled brown and green oval with more spiky leaves erupting from its top. Almost like a tortoise shell, the way that the scales fit together, but it's an oval, and then there's a spiky green rosette style bush erupting from the top of the oval. Do you both point those out to your friends?
Yeah.
I would, but I would also add the caveat as that looks
Could
strange.
I tell if the strawberry looking thing is the fruit that Cheryl wanted?
It is a flower. It is a flower. It just looks delicious. It's like a mimicry flower where It makes you want to eat it. And it's a flower that is trailing in lines off of a vine.
So we should probably not eat that.
Well, I'm pretty full from the candies and breads from earlier, so I'm good.
Me too.
Yinli would like to climb up and bite some of the vine behind the flowers, just to be able to grab some.
Sure, are you trying to sever the vine? Yes, you can sever the vine, no problem. It seems like if you worked at this for a few hours, you could collect quite a lot of this, and the flowers weigh almost nothing. The vines make them easy to tie around, so if you wanted to just tie a bunch onto your backpack, you could become a flower person. Like a ghillie suit of flowers. And does anybody know the name of these flowers? No? Orchids! Orchids are parasitic vines,
Ah.
and they're delicious.
I'll be honest, I thought you meant in character, and I'm like, no, definitely Mortimer has no idea about horticulture. But then, you said, like, even out of person has no idea about horticulture at all either, so.
Oh,
The role player
Yeah.
has no idea.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, these are what orchids look like in the wild.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Oh, all right.
All right,
I know you could eat
so-
pansies. Didn't know you could eat orchids.
It's the more expensive version.
Ah, that's probably a reason I only knew the one then.
Yeah.
Violets. You could eat violets all day. They're good. Right out the yard.
Weren't those really bad in Greek mythology?
Mm-mm. Delicious.
Or am I thinking of something else?
I think
Belladonna.
in Greek mythology was that and lotus.
That one.
Lotuses. By the way. All right. What about this rose bush thing?
Yeah,
So I'll describe that again. It's a rosette, which is a type of plant that opens out from the middle and spreads its leaves. The leaves are quite sharp looking, and they're making it very irritating for you to walk through the underbush because it's like stabbing your legs. And the weird turtle shell looking oval that's coming out of the middle of this rosette, also just for kicks and giggles, on the top of it has another little spiky green thing coming out that again is and it looks like the whole thing's very spiky. It's not a pleasant little underbush creature plant,
so kind of like a succulent,
except up to your knee.
Yeah, except for massive and angry.
It's an angry little plant. Spikes coming out of the top of the oval thing too. As you continue to look at them, some of the ovals are yellow in color. So it's a green bush with a yellow oval in the middle of it and a green spiky top coming out of the yellow oval.
Should I light it on fire?
Was considering that, but I think Yin Li is just going to float higher up since she can still use that even in her other form.
I mean, it might make it easier to walk.
Moxie wants to take a javelin and poke at one of the pods.
Oh, okay. As you thrust your javelin into it, it sticks firmly to the end of your javelin. Lifting your javelin up, it lifts cleanly off of the rosette, and you're left with a yellow oval with a green spiky top on the end of your javelin.
All right, well then I'll take my battle axe and chop it in half.
You chop it in half. It's got a circular firm core that looks totally inedible, and radially outward these like yellow juicy. Are you gonna taste it?
Well, first I'm gonna smell it.
Oh, it smells bright and fruity.
All right, I'm gonna just just a little lick.
Okay, are you touching your tongue to the hard, scaly outside,
No,
the firm core, or
The sweet,
The, like,
juicy
fruity.
looking, sweet smelling yellow.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. It almost hurts your teeth. It's so sweet and acidic.
Oh, guys, hold on.
That might be the fruit.
Wait, I just want to real quick before I have you taste this. I'm just gonna detect poison and disease just to make sure that these are safe for consumption. Now that I have eaten one.
Yin Li's going to float over, then try to climb up Moxie to get at some of it.
All right,
Okay.
One action takes me 6 seconds. Just boom. Is there poison? Are these poisonous?
They are not poisonous. It's good because you just ate some.
Well, I could fix it for myself either way, so it was all right.
Yeah. Not poisonous.
And so for 10 minutes, actually, as long as I'm concentrating, I can sense the presence and location of poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet. So,
Oh, okay. Underneath the leaves, there's something that just pings at you. Like it's really tiny and it's this little dot and it's underneath the leaf of a tree.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
If you'd like to
Yeah.
investigate.
First, I'm gonna.
Strongly poisonous.
I'm gonna javelin up some more of these pods and cut them in half and give them to my companions to be like, no, really, you guys should try this. I'm gonna check, getting a little.
All right. I'll
Oh,
try one.
it's so good.
Okay. It almost is like eating the inside of your mouth. It's so strongly acidic. And these little spine apples are full of punch.
You know, I wonder if this is the fruit that Cheryl was talking about.
Oh, wait, I've got an idea. I'm gonna get out my spice pouch and get some. Reach in. I'm gonna be like, some nice pink salt here, and get a little pinch of salt and sprinkle it on some of the spine apple.
Okay. I've never eaten pineapple with salt. I'm not sure what it would taste like.
It'd be good.
You can describe it to me. What does it taste like?
It just offsets like the strong sweetness of it. Kind of mellows it out a little bit.
Okay. I've heard of salt on watermelon.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. Okay.
It just sort of tones down how strong it is.
Okay, good. And you're all munching on pineapples.
And then I'm gonna go investigate that little ping.
Ooh, okay. You lift the leaf, and suction to the bottom of it is a beautiful blue and black frog.
All right, everybody. I need you to take a look at this little frog. Don't touch it. Just get a good eyeball on this little fella right here. It's totally
Just kind
poisonous. Super
chittering.
poisonous.
The mouth parts until she says that, and just like
Yeah, like
drooping down.
like super big poisonous. But hey, more fruit. Get some more fruit. Let's gather up some fruit.
Okay. Everybody
good to me.
roll a survival check.
Oh boy.
And tell me what you're collecting.
I got a 16, and I'm collecting those frogs. No, I'm kidding.
I just said.
I'm immune to poisons,
Oh,
so
sweet. Yeah.
Oh, hey,
I got
that's
a-
handy.
I got a 14. I'm going to collect more of the fruit that we just found and ate.
Okay.
Maybe that's what Cheryl's looking for.
You have 14 pineapples.
Yeah.
I got a 23 also gathering spine apples.
Okay, you have 23 spine apples.
yeah. I think I'll probably collect some of those orchids
Okay.
with a 16. Sorry.
16 huge bags of, they're very light. So you're also clearing the vines as you collect them.
Mm-hmm.
So 16, I guess, huge bags of, like you're tying them into clusters, and then you're tying the cluster to your backpack of orchids.
Okay.
Unnatural 20. I'm going to take some of the pineapples and carefully try to see if I can get one of the frogs into something that somebody has, since I don't have something on me to put that into.
Companions, do you have any containers for Yinli?
Well, let me just take a look-see. I have a tinder box. We could probably dump out my little tinders. Shove something in there. I got a mess kit. Could empty out my mess kit. In your spidery form, can you just like spin a little basket?
Fortunately, it's not that kind of a strider. I can do a fire burst, but that won't help.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Do a second survival check on making a container out of leaves, I guess. You can weave them. They're really broad. I don't know.
17.
That's 16.
So together you make 2 pretty good boxes, and you can get 2 of the frogs. And what was the rest of your number? Was an unnatural 20 of...
Wait, we're getting the frogs?
Well, Yin Li is. What was the other thing that you were collecting? Yin Li?
Just some of the pineapples.
All right. So just in one quick, describe what you're doing. Yin Li is collecting pineapples and like trying to chase after frogs as they hop away. Get into my little leaf box. Mortimer is...
He's cutting down the vines, but those are like up higher. So what he does is he takes out his dagger of returning, and he's literally like chucking it, cutting one end of the vine, having it swing down. It returns, and then he chucks it, and then cuts the other end and drops down. And then he's
so efficient.
Yeah. And Yin Li is just going to stare at that for a moment before resuming looking for the frogs.
Amiri is...
Amiri is picking some more of the pineapples and using her dagger to extract the pineapple from the...
Can I actually
having a little snack?
dig up a whole little rosette pod? Like the whole, like, roots?
You can.
Yeah.
Right from the root. Yeah. And Moxie is digging up a whole rosette of pineapple when you guys hear...
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
A grunt, 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 grunt. Like a pig, but repeated and fast. Grunt, 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 grunt. How many times fast can you say that? I looked it up,
Anybody
and
here dinner?
This is the sound that they make. So coming in fast from 3 o'clock, rising from 3 scaly toes atop long dinosaur legs with a dark black feathered body, 2 red fleshy wattles dangling in front, a tall blue neck and face, and a brown casque on top of their heads. Topping these 2 majestic creatures like the Pope hat are 2 danger birds. And the 2 danger birds are running at you fast. And have you guys ever seen a cassowary?
No.
Drawing a blank on that one.
And that is where we will pick up
Emu.
next time. Join us next time
Danger bird.
as our players are attacked by danger birds and they have to bring back a pig for a luau is their goal. So joining us this time, we're Moxie
I will see you shortly.
and Mary,
Catch you guys in a minute.
Mortimer,
Until next we meet.
and Yin Li.
Hopefully we will bring peace to this village, or rest in peace ourselves.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
We hope that you're enjoying this episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. Please leave us a review on iTunes.com. You can subscribe to receive new episodes through your podcast player or by visiting firebreathingkittenspodcast.com and clicking on the RSS feed. Can you think of someone who might enjoy this podcast? Please share it with them. We don't pay to advertise this show, so the only way we can grow is through the support of listeners like you. Thank you. Welcome back to Fire Breathing Kittens. Everybody, please roll a d20.
7.
I too
11.
have 7.
16.
All right. 13 is the number that was on the dice that I rolled. So who's the closest to 13? I guess 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 11 is the closest to 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Moxie, please tell us what happened last time on the Fire Breathing Kittens.
Well, all right. We were in the guild hall as usual, Amiri and Mortimer and I, and we went to the job board, and there was a post from a law firm, Smith & Klein. Apparently one Miss Ruby Coco, her dying wish was for peace to be brought to Sukla? Was it Sukla? There we go. To the town of Sukla. It's famous for its confectionaries, and we went there. We were we met with Cheryl, who is a baker, and Lent, who owns a garden store, and Mally, who owns a sweet store. Though they're all siblings, and our friend Yin Lee showed up and started helping us out. We tried some really gross fruit and saw some really tiny cute trees and found out that really what this town needs is just a good time. So we've gone down to the forest floor because this town, I may have failed to mention, is in the tippy top of some big ol', I believe the term was heckin' big trees. So we've gone down to the forest floor where we found some delicious pineapples and some poisonous frogs and some fine flowered vines that are choking up the trees. So we're trimming those back a little bit. And there was rustling in the leaves behind us and some stomping and a bunch of... And we turned around and there was these big, what could only be described as danger birds. And so here we are.
Here they are. Standing in front of them are two, medium-sized creatures, but rising from 3 scaly toes, atop long dinosaur legs with a dark black fluffy body, 2 red fleshy wattles dangling in front, and a tall blue neck and face, and at the very top a brown casque on top of their heads, topping this majestic creature like the Pope hat. So there's 2 of these in front of you. Everybody, please roll initiative.
Well, I got a 5.
3.
16.
17.
And Mary, you're up first. You are 50 feet from the creatures.
Well then, knowing that we gotta take these things for dinner, I will shoot one with an Eldritch Blast. Oh. Does a 11 hit?
No. The Eldritch Blast, I guess, hits something else, right? Like a tree or a leaf or a branch. It's hard to aim when there's vines hanging down from overhead. Yeah.
Misses by mere feet.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I guess I'll move 10 feet closer.
Okay, so you're 40 feet away from them. The animals are going to split up and try to surround you like a pack of velociraptors. One is going to go on the left and the other on the right. They're identical, though. You can't tell them apart. Just one's on the left and one's on the right. And they are going to do a stealth check in the underbrush. Okay. One of them is probably hidden. I'm going to go with the one on the right. Is hidden with this number. And the one on the left is hidden with a much more reasonable number. Everybody want to do a perception check?
Sure.
Let's see if you see where they went.
Mortimer has a 23.
16.
12.
23.
Mortimer and Yin Lee can see the one on the right. The others can only see the one on the left. Everyone can see the one on the left. It's got its head behind a tree, but his fat little butt is sticking out.
If I can't see them, they can't see me.
Next up is Moxie. Moxie, you can only see the one on the left.
And it's how far away?
50 feet from you.
All right, I'll throw a javelin at its tushy that's sticking out there. 10's probably not gonna do it, though.
It thuds into the tree that the cassowary is hiding behind, alerting it that it's not hidden. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I'm gonna move 30 feet towards it.
All right, you're only 20 feet from it now. The one on the left.
Okay.
Yin Lee, you're up. You're 50 feet from both cassowaries.
Going to look at the one that isn't so obvious and hurl a fire burst at it. needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It rolled a 7.
It'll take 10 fire damage.
All right. Its feathers are singed. Mortimer, you're up.
Okay.
Oh, are you going to move at all, Yinli?
I'm just going to try climbing up a nearby tree. That's a 16.
Athletics? Yeah, you climb up the tree. You get how far up?
I'll just go up 15.
15 feet up. Got it. Mortimer, you're up.
They're 50 feet away, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to run towards the one on the right. And I can only move 30 feet. So I'm going to move the 30 feet. That gives it with 20 feet. And I'm going to chuck my dagger at it. And Chauncey is just going to stay at my side. Excuse me. And yeah, I can't really have him do much of anything else right now because I have to look at the rules for him. But right now he's just standing by my side. So chuck a dagger for a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. It's gonna do 7 points of piercing damage. And so he just runs up and does like a baseball pitch overhand, or sidearm, and throws the dagger. And then it just disappears out of the wound and appears back in Mortimer's hand.
Wow, the returning daggers. Yeah. You've injured the cassowary. And Mary, it's your turn. You're 40
so I
feet
can see
away
the one
from...
on the left.
Yeah, which you're 40 feet away from.
Alright, I'll just blast it again. 16 damage.
What was your to hit?
13.
A 13 misses.
Plus the additional 3, so 16.
Okay, 16 hits.
4. 13 damage.
Okay. A spray of feathers erupts from where the Eldritch Blast hits the dinosaur. It grunts. It's not making any bird sounds. It's grunting. And it's the cassowary's turn. The one on the left is going to attack Mary, and the one on the right is 50-50 between Mortimer and Moxie. Let's roll this dice here. 1, 2, 3, Moxie. 4, 5, 6, Mortimer. That's Moxie. Okay, so Mary first. The one on the left is going to attack you. It is... Cassowaries make 3 attacks each round with their claws.
Oh, jeez.
So it charges at you. It lowers its head, and then it raises its head, and it raises its feet. You'd expect that its wings would spread out, but I watched a video on cassowaries attacking earlier today to make sure that I did this accurately, and their wings don't spread out. They just are like little, they tuck their wings in, and then they kick you. So it's interesting. All right, now you know about cassowary kicks, and it's trying to eviscerate you. It rolls a 8 to hit. It rolls a nat 20 to hit, and it rolls a 19 to hit. So probably the second two are going to hit you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to hit you with 13 total damage as it tries to eviscerate you. Claw, claw.
Ouch.
How are you doing? How many hit points do you have left?
About half.
Okay. Moxie, there's the cassowary on the right is coming towards you. So also just to note, Mary, there's no distance between you anymore. And Moxie, it's coming at you.
All right, then.
It is going to try to claw you because Mary has a 40-foot movement, so it got you. Okay. All right. So Moxie, it is going to roll a 10 to hit you, a 16 to hit you, and a 22 to hit you.
The 22 will hit me.
Okay, it claws at you for 10 damage. Wow, that was an 8. Okay, 10 damage of claw. Also, they have really big feet. Like really big feet. They have 4-inch-long claws at the end of their feet, and that occupies like maybe a fifth of the foot, like of the toe space. They're ridiculous, giant-feeted birds. Okay, and that was the cassowaries. Moxie, you're now in close combat with the cassowary on the right. 0 feet are between you. What do you do?
All right, well, I'm going to come at it with my battle axe. And 15 to hit.
That hits.
All right. Then we're going to... So we'll do 8 points of slashing damage.
The bird grunts. Grunt, grunt. And is slashed.
And
It's much shorter than you, but much more angry.
okay. Yep.
Are you doing anything else in your turn?
Nope. Just going to try to stay in the way of this guy.
Okay. Yin Li, you're 15 feet up a tree. You feel pretty safe.
All right. I am going to... Can I move along the tree to get 15 feet away from it?
You can go up or down a tree, but you can't go left or right.
Okay.
Because they don't branch yet. Up at 15 feet, they're not yet branching horizontally.
Okay. Just wasn't sure with different types of trees and such. All right. I will lower down, and I've got 50 feet of movement on this form, so I'll move over until I can get within 15 feet of it.
The one on the right or the one on the left?
The one that's attacking Moxie.
That's the one on the right. Okay, so you're 15 feet away horizontally from the one that's attacking Moxie.
I thought mine was the one on the left because I was 20 feet from it.
Oh, yep, Moxie's is on the left. Sorry. Whoops. Yeah, I wrote that down, and then I had the one on the right attack you. So it should have only been able to attack Mortimer. That's an oopsie on my part. Sorry, guys. Yep, Moxie's in melee with... How should I do that? I just want to keep going. So... Moxie, you're fighting the one on the right, because oops, sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Some trans-dimensional pocket opens up and shifts you over there.
Yeah. So
All right. So then I'm going to
Sorry
use
about that.
Screamers of the Dead, and it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
They're not good at that. Okay, it rolled a 2, -1 is 1.
It takes 8 psychic damage. And then I'm going to roll to see if I can get back the flame burst. I did not this turn.
Are you doing anything else?
If I've got any movement left, I'll just move toward the nearest tree.
Okay, let's say that you end 20 feet from the cassowary on the right, which is the one that's attacking Moxie and Mortimer, because I'm bad at math. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Mortimer, you're 5 feet away from the one on the right. It somehow teleported past you and attacked Moxie. You're not sure what happened. So it's 5 feet
Weirdness
behind
happened. So Mortimer is... How far away is it, you said? 5 feet, 10 feet?
5 feet.
15? 5 feet, okay. So that means I don't have to throw it. I can just stabby stab. Then I'm going to tell Chauncey, bite them! So I'm going to be stabbing. Mortimer, or Chauncey is going to be biting. I got a terrible 13 to hit.
That misses.
Which, compare that to the 22 to hit that Chauncey got.
Chauncey's doing good with his jaw servos.
Yeah.
You built him well.
And that's going to do 11, 12, 13 points of force damage.
The bird looks not good.
Yeah.
The bird's struggling. It's rethinking the attack plan. In fact, the bird is going to probably try to run away if you guys let it.
Well, I'm not going to let that happen, but
Ameri.
that is my turn. So
It's your turn, Ameri.
how
You are
far away
currently
am I from
0 feet away
them?
from the one on the left, and everybody has just come together in the middle here because I messed up with the Moxie turn. So you're pretty close to the one on the right, too. They've dashed out from the bushes. The one on the right looks like it's about to die.
Well, I'll hit the one on the right with an Eldritch Blast I get. We'll try to take care of one, and then...
Oof. They're hunting for dinner. Okay.
19 to hit
That hits.
for 11 damage.
And that's one dead bird.
And then I'm going to use my Healing Light to get 9 HP back.
Okay. Seeing its mate explode in a burst of feathers, the cassowary on the left is going to take that out on Mary, who it is still standing next to. Because you're standing next to the bird whose mate you just killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was going to go for you. It's going to try to claw you. 11, nat 1, and a 20. So...
One hits.
One hits. Okay, it's gonna attack you for 11 slashing damage
Ow.
as it tries to eviscerate you and avenge its friend. It's impossible to tell what gender cassowaries are.
That kind of hurt.
Okay, Moxie, it's your turn. You're 10 feet away from the one on the left, and you're standing next to a dead one on the right.
All right, well, I'll just move right up to that other one that's still kicking. 15 to hit, and I'm going to... let's see. That's going to be 7 points.
It looks very unharmed. If you were to compare the amount of pre-tenderization that's happened to your chickens, you'd say that this one's not at all tenderized. All right. Yin Li, you are 30 feet away from the one on the left.
I'm going to move up and try to leap up onto its back and bite into its neck.
Whoa. Okay.
Do I need to make a athletics or something to get on its back?
That sounds like a good roll to make, yeah.
That is 22.
It's gonna also try to dodge you. It's the very large birds are not dexterous. They're strong. They're not dexterous. You leap right onto its back. You're ostrich riding the danger bird.
And that's unfortunately only a 9 to hit.
As you sink your teeth into the back of its neck, reaching for that vertebrae at the base of the skull. Did you say 9 damage?
9 attack. It didn't hit.
Oh, 9. Okay. So that makes sense. You are on the back of an ostrich. Okay, got it. So it's still at 32.
Is it weird that I just picture like the spider leaping on its back? All of a sudden, it pulls out a 10-gallon hat and starts going, woo!
The bucking of Bron cassowary.
Yeah. Sorry.
Didn't recover the fireburst either.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. And just a reminder to everyone, please re-roll your turns. Okay. Pre-roll your turns. Gosh. Okay. Mortimer, you're up. You are 15 feet from the one on the left. You're within melee distance of the dead one.
Oh, I meleeed the... No, I'm kidding. So take my dagger, chuck that. I'm pretty sure a 10 misses for the dagger, but
yeah.
yells to Chauncey to...
Can you roll a second to hit?
Yeah. That's still a 10.
Okay, you also don't hit Yinli.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how else to...
Fair
it's
enough.
like disadvantage, yes. Okay. I don't know.
Chauncey runs up and gets a 20, a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
And does not a lot of damage. Only 5 force damage. As it tries to like take off a wing or something. It's just...
With the jaws clamped down, the cassowary is now burdened by a Yin Li and a Chauncey. And the cassowary is going to get enraged, for sure. Yeah.
And Chauncey's doing his laugh. Like, oh!
The hyena laugh, right?
Yeah. The terrible hyena laugh. It's wholly inaccurate. But
is that the end of your turn?
Yes, sorry. That is the end of my turn.
Okay. And Mary, you're up.
All right. So does a critical hit?
Yes, criticals hit.
All
No,
right.
it
So that
misses.
is 16 damage total.
Wow. Taking the bird down from 27 to 11.
Plus my healing. I'm going to use my last 3 charges of healing light to get 12 damage back.
You know, in Marvel, where there's the Scarlet Witch and she's got like all that red stuff going on, I'm picturing you like freaking out, having a bunch of red stuff go on. You attack the enemy, you heal yourself, your hair's a little frazzled.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos magic.
Thankfully, it's short. It's about shoulder high length. So
Yeah. And that ends your turn?
yes.
Okay. With its last kicks, the cassowary is going to try to, I guess you're now all very close to it. So let's roll between the 4 of you. It's going to attack Mortimer. You're the 4th one. Well, oh wait, no, there's...
Is it a melee attack? Then it probably would just aim for Chauncey.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's going to attack Chauncey.
Yeah.
So with the hyena trying to hang on to it, the cassowary tries to kick it off and gets a 10, 12, 16 to hit.
Armor class 15, so the 16 hits.
The 16 hits. It's a little distracted by the people holding onto its back. And it gets a 10 slashing damage on you.
Oof, alright. That's a third of Chauncey's hit points.
Well, the cassowary is about to go down, so at least it did something.
Well, if anyone has to go down, a steel construct is much easier to fix.
Rebuild, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Moxie.
anyway,
All right, well, Moxie was going to start prepping a spell, but there's too many companions either on or around said bird. So instead, she's just going to swing again and gets a 15 plus 5 on her dice to hit, so a 20. And the bird's going to take 13 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, it only had 11 health left, so describe what that looks like as you slash and unfortunately hunt dinner.
All right, I'm going to step up and sort of like swing the axe, like flip it around my wrist kind of and catch it. And then just big arcing swing and slash right at the base of that neck there.
Oh. Well, that's how you stop chickens from running around, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That ends the combat.
They will still run around even without that. My grandfather had a
Mind
farm.
you,
Yep, you gotta
We
tie the
had
legs
it-
together. That's the trick.
I saw that when I was 8 years old. He stapled it to the side of the chicken coop to stop it.
Well, that's a
It's a famous chicken farmer's thing. You tie the legs together to stop them from running around before you cut the head off.
I find it funny that we had a healing warlock exactly 0 feet from the left one the whole time. Pretty much tanking.
Mm. Yeah, these are so I used Kobold Fight Club and this was a hard fight, but I don't think it was. But that was I think I used the stats from a giant scorpion or something. Yeah. Supposed to be very difficult. Mm.
Well, now we got dinner.
Yeah. All right. So, tell me what you do with your 2 large birds.
I walk over to Chauncey and see the big gouge that got into its side, and it's like, "What are you doing? You can't. You know how hard it is to you fix that. I'm not fixing it this time."
I'm gonna go over to Chauncey and I'm gonna use mending on it.
Actually, before you do that, what you see instead is that in the wound, a bunch of like little spines or legs comes out and grabs the gash and starts closing it up.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna use mending.
He has an ability that will heal himself, and he gets back all of his hit points. So yeah, these little legs, like centipede legs, just come out. You know, they're metal as well, and they just grab the wound and stitch it up.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
it's
Also, I also have the mending spell. I could have fixed it, but he knows better than to get himself damaged like that.
I'm going to kind of lift up a couple of legs and try to motion, like bring the 2 danger birds together. And I rolled and was able to recover the fire burst, so I can try and cook them.
Shouldn't
We got to get them up.
cook them when they're up?
We got to get him
Well-
up to the village for the luau.
We've got to take out the innards before you cook them.
Well, fair. Well,
But I could do that real quick.
Chauncey's gonna grab the faraway one and drag it so that way they're together.
But you could use the fire, your fire, to get rid of all the feathers and stuff off of here. That'd save some time for sure.
That's what she was kind of thinking, because
Yeah.
thicker stuff easier than plucking it.
Yeah,
Fair.
let's go with that.
Mm.
How are we
Alright.
going to get these
Moxie-
things up?
Cuts the innards out, and Yin Li quickly defeathers them, a la Flame. And you all are doing that when... So here's the thing. That probably made a bit of noise.
Mm.
And it probably has a bit of smell. So you see 2 pig nostrils stick out from the undergrowth and go, sniff, sniff, and take a deep, long breath of the roasting meat. Because here's the thing about pigs, they're omnivores.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mm.
if they want the entrails, they could have those.
Well, this nose is as wide as you are.
That's a big nose.
That's a big nose. And sticking out from the nose, now that it's sticking out further and further from the undergrowth, are tusks.
Oh.
So everybody, you've got one more fight if you want it. This is a giant boar. It does trampling charges, and if you all want to skip this fight and just be done, you can. But if you would like to fight a giant boar, please let me know.
I'm up for fighting it unless somebody else doesn't want to.
I'm up for it, though I will wild shape into a Sioux monster.
Oh,
Into a what?
A Sioux
sea
monster.
I'm going to kind of like
What's
move
that?
back
That's
a little bit.
horrifying.
It's a medium
It's like a-
monstrosity.
Cannibal zombie monkey monster.
Oh, okay.
They're scary.
Alrighty. Do you guys react to that?
I don't, but skeleton.
Moxie does, but we're gonna circle back to that.
Just
Now's
gives
not
a
the
little
time.
wave with clawed hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy.
And then also, your task to succeed, if this makes sense, is to get the meat up off the ground floor, because the ground floor is going to keep attacking you. So the point is not to disembowel the cassowaries or to defeather the cassowaries or to skin the boar. It's to get them up and leave, because the ground
I
is a
see,
hungry
I
place.
see, I see.
Yes. All right. So let's fight the giant boar. I'm going to continue to use the initiatives that we had last time. And everybody probably is within 15 feet of one another again, right?
Probably.
Because you were congregating around the birds.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mary, you see a nose sticking out from the undergrowth with tusks. The nose is as big as you are. What do you do?
I'll just blast it. 23.
To hit?
Yes.
Yep. That hits.
For 5 damage.
It goes down to 95 hit points.
Oh, God.
The boar is next. It's gonna trampling charge you. If the giant boar moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and then hits it with a gore attack on the same turn, that target must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. So go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
All of us?
Just a Mary.
Or- Oh, God. 15.
You succeeded. It doesn't get to stomp attack you as it goes by. It just gores you. So here is a gore attack. It rolls a 25 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. And then it does 29 piercing damage.
Oof.
So, whose idea was it to fight this thing? Because I'm dead.
You're not dead. You're doing saving throws.
I'm unconscious.
Yeah. Mary is impaled upon the tusk of a boar that has trampled her from out from under the undergrowth. Moxie, it's your turn.
All right. First thing Moxie's gonna do is channel divinity and augment my athleticism with divine favor. And run over to Amiri and lay on hands for 5 HP.
Do you yoink her off of the tusks, lay her on the ground, cradle her head in your arms, and feed her some tear water?
Okay, well, I thought she was just on the ground of the floor, but yeah, I could do all of those things. And I hold her close, and I go, come back to us, Amiri, your family need ya. We need ya here. Come on back. Don't follow that light. It's not your time.
Mary, you wake up. Your head is in Moxie's arms, and you're looking up into her face. You see this big haired. Your hair is so poofy.
It's so poofy, especially in this humidity. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
The beehive hairstyle of Moxie is the first thing you see. It's Yinli's turn. Yinli, there's a very dangerous boar coming to eat your cassowaries.
I'm going
And your
to
friends.
use Psychic Crush, and it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 13. Flat on the dice.
Okay. It passes, unfortunately. And there's no fail condition. Then I am going to just try to move behind it.
Okay, you can maneuver behind it. Next up is Mortimer. Mortimer, it's not looking good for your friends.
Yeah, I'm going to move over to Mary and pull out a needle and thread. It's like, don't worry, this will hurt. And start sewing up. And that's his version of casting Cure Wounds. So you get back 8 hit points.
Whew.
And then he just kind of does that, and it's painful, but you're healing, so it only hurts for a second. And he looks up for a second, goes to Chauncey, he's like, Chauncey! Distracted. Then Chauncey's gonna try to aggro the damn thing. So an attack of... Math is hard right now. 15 to hit.
That hits.
And they'll take 10 points of force damage.
Down to 85.
I thought he was going to hug her at first.
Nope, it's Mortimer. He's not much of a hugger. Sorry. And that's my turn.
Next up is a Mary.
Alright, I'm going to use Cure Wounds on myself because I'm out of Healing Light to get 7 damage back. And that's all I got.
Okay, you're still within melee of the boar. Are you gonna stay here? Back
I'm
up
going to
5
move
feet?
30 feet.
5 feet maybe, just to get out of. So it's more
Sure.
likely to go for Chauncey if you're just not immediately next to it, as it turns its head with its tusks around. Okay, so this justifies me now attacking Chauncey with the boar. Okay, so because you're not immediately next to it, as it turns its head and gores Chauncey, it rolls 12 plus 9 to hit is 21 to hit.
Hits. That hits.
Okay, Chauncey gets gored. Chauncey's going to take 48 plus 6 piercing damage.
Well, Chauncey's down. Oh, 4d8. I think you said 48.
27.
Okay,
27
he's still up.
damage. 4d8. Yeah, 27
Gotcha.
damage.
Okay, he's still
27
alive.
piercing damage as a tusk tries to pierce Chauncey.
Yeah, and it almost does. Okay.
That hurts.
Moxie, it's your turn.
All right, well, I'm gonna... While the big boar is worrying with the mechanical pupper, I'm gonna take some of this a massive amount of rope that I purchased and tie up the birds and start trying to haul them up a tree.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say that you can successfully tie up the birds, throw the rope around a branch, and loop and grab the other end of the rope and start pulling. Go ahead and do some kind of strength test to see how you do.
We'll do my athletics. That's going to be a 21.
Yes. You can, because you are the strongest person here, you are able to hoist those birds up. And by the way, in bear country, it's not a bad idea to put your food off of the ground as well.
I am infused with the power of Tyr.
And she pulls those birds. Let's say that those birds are fully 15 feet off of the ground. And you're able to tie the rope if you'd like around a outcropping or a branch or something. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
So these birds are secure. Good turn. They're 15 feet up off the ground.
All right.
Yin Li.
Okay. I'm going to multi-attack, bite and claw. That's an unnatural
What do
19.
you look like right now?
Sort of, kind of a furless monkey kind of thing with a sharp tail.
Ooh.
And sharp claws on my hands and feet. So it's a unnatural 19 for the bite, and a nat 20 for a 24 on the claws.
Both hit.
Okay. Then that is 5 piercing damage and 10 slashing damage.
It goes down to 70 hit points.
And I fail to recover the Psychic Crush. So that'll be ending my turn.
Okay. Mortimer, you're up.
All right. This is the point where we run. And so Mortimer runs away with Chauncey hot on his heels to like the nearest tree and just starts climbing.
Okay.
And yeah, and he's gonna tell fix your damn self. And Chauncey is gonna heal some amount of damage. 7, 8, 9. So he heals some damage. And yeah, Chauncey's gonna be like trying to climb up a tree as well. So do you want to roll for that, or is the trees climbable?
I mean, how does a hyena climb?
Carefully, like other creatures. I mean,
you might have to hoist him up.
Yeah,
It is
Like
a
put him in
robot,
pulleys.
yeah, probably. But unfortunately, I'm not up there to start throwing pulleys and ropes down yet. So I guess he's just gonna kind of sit at the bottom.
And do a
Waiting.
sad hyena laugh.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. It's not much of a luau without a pig. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah. How far do I get up the tree?
Your movement speed. You can escape.
Okay.
You're doing the old four-armed, 2 arms, 2 legs hug shimmy up the tree.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I can reach a branch, I'm going to start throwing a rope down to get Chauncey. So.
Okay. Let's say you reach that branch at the end of your turn.
Okay. Then that is my turn.
And Mary, Mortimer just abandoned you to die. What are you up to?
I'm gonna swing myself up onto that vine with Moxie. If she's within range.
Are you going to jump for a vine? What's going on here? Because Moxie is on the ground pulling up cassowary meat into the air.
I thought she was
She
on
threw
the-
a rope over a branch, pulled on the other end, and pulled the cassowary meat up into the air.
Alright, then yeah, I'll scramble up the tree.
Okay, do an athletics check.
Negative -1, 16.
Okay. Sure, you get up the tree. Again, without a boar, it's not much of a luau, but okay. It's the boar's turn. Moxie, your
But
friends have
I've-
left you to die.
I figure from up here we could kind of pick it off.
Yeah, that's a plan. So Moxie,
Yeah.
your friends have left the boar, and so here's the thing about boars and trampling charges: their ideal form of running at a person and goring them, that's their favorite way to fight. So with no one to stop them from running at you, with no opportunity attacks along the way or anything like that, it's gonna run right at you. Is the monkey monster thing still in melee with it?
Yes.
All right, the monkey monster thing is going to get an attack of opportunity, but all the three other are gone. So monkey monster thing, go ahead and do an attack of opportunity, and then it's going to trampling charge Moxie.
That's a 17.
That hits.
And that's 8 slashing damage.
It's down to 62 hit points. It trampling charges Moxie. It moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and then hits it with a gore attack. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
Alrighty. Just make sure I think here. Okay. That is a 14.
That succeeds. You're fine. You are not knocked prone. Instead, you're just gored. Only gored,
Okay.
not gored and stomped on. So it's going to try to hit you with a 18 to hit.
That just hits.
Yeah, I rolled a 9. Okay, it's not ideal. And it's going to try to hit you for 4d8 plus 6. So let's roll that. Oh, math. 32 piercing damage.
Cool. I'm down.
Okay. Moxie's unconscious, you guys. While everybody's up the tree. Moxie, it's your turn. Go ahead and make a death saving throw.
So 13.
You pass. One pass. That's good. Yin Li, you're currently a monkey thing with claws and teeth and stuff, and the boar is goring your friend. Everyone else has escaped up trees for some reason.
I'm going to try and hop onto its back. That is a 15 athletics.
Okay, so I'm going to roll an opposing athletics. It rolled a 3. You're on its back.
Okay. Then I'm going to melee attack it again.
We have to get Yin Li a horse.
A 15 and a 24.
To hit?
To hit, yeah.
Yeah, both hit.
And that's 6 piercing damage. And 10 slashing damage.
The boar is down to 46 hit points. It's below half. Moxie's on the ground unconscious.
And I recover
Mortimer.
the Psychic Crush.
Oh, you did. Good. Is there anything else in your turn?
That'll be it.
Okay, so Mortimer, you watch as you're up in a tree and you're watching. The boar has gored Moxie. She's on the ground underneath it. And Yinli is a giant scary monkey thing on its back, ripping it away, and there's like blood flying from the back of its neck.
Mm-hmm. Well, this didn't turn out how I thought it was going to go. Okay, Chauncey! Try not to die. Get up. And I'm going to cast Catapult.
Are you going to
And
throw Chauncey at...
no, not Chauncey. It just needs to be an object. And so this is going to be one of those pineapples. I imagine there's probably one like lying around. So just a pineapple comes lobbing at like breakneck speeds at the boar and needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It's not very good at those. It rolled a 12 minus 1.
Okay, that is a failure. So it's going to take 3d8 bludgeoning damage, which would be 7 plus 6 is 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's down to
Musty.
33 hit points.
And then Chauncey's going to run
As
up.
a pineapple, I guess. What would happen if you shot a pineapple out of a cannon at a boar?
Just pineapple everywhere. I'm pre-seasoning this boar.
Pre-seasoned.
And then Chauncey's going to try to bite at him. And so that's going to be not a great roll to hit, but it's a 13 to hit.
Armor class 13 natural armor for a giant boar.
So it hits?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is, by the way, the stats of a Triceratops.
It only takes 5 damage, unfortunately, but it's still something.
It's down to 28.
Unfortunately,
You guys
that
are
was my last
almost
spell
there.
slot.
Oh. All right. And Mary,
That's my turn.
what do you do?
All right. I'm gonna drop down from the tree and try to. And I'm gonna use my Cure Wounds, which is my second spell slot, so I'm used up there. For
Now, I don't recommend using a spell in melee with the boar, which is on top of Moxie. Because the boars literally just gored her. Like, it's...
they're
They're kind of
I'm just
merging.
gonna Eldritch Blast, 22 damage.
Okay, and I think you can do that from the tree, because the range of that is 90 feet, right?
No, 120.
120. So you're still in the tree.
Yeah.
But you're attacking.
So,
okay. All right.
22
So 22 to hit?
for 8 damage.
Yeah, it's down to 20 hit points.
So close.
And it's the boar's turn. Oh, Yinli, you're on its back. All right, Yinli, it's going to try to shake you off and gore you. So I guess it's just going to... Actually, no. This is the thing. They can just turn their head and get you with their tusks. That's the thing that cowboy knees find out. So... It tries to hit you for 13.
I mean, how else do they scratch back there?
That
Great.
hits with the armor class of 12.
Oh my gosh. All right. So that was a 4 on the dice. It's a +9 to hit. Okay, so it's going to hit you. It gets you for rolling the 4 dice now. 5 plus 6 is 11. Plus 8 is 19. Plus 6 is 25. Plus 6 is 31 damage.
Okay, so I drop out of that form and take... You said 31?
Yeah.
So I take 4 damage onto my HP.
Are you still up?
I'm still up. Yeah, I only took 4 from my own HP because the rest was from
Yeah.
Oh.
the wild shape.
Cool. That's neat.
That's druids.
Yeah.
They normally can't cast spells in their wild shape, but they get a giant reserve of essentially hit points, so.
Oh, that's why you were jumping on its back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made it a little harder to
Okay.
get trampled.
Okay. Well, that ends the boar's turn. It takes out your knee. Ah.
Ouchies.
Moxie, it's your turn.
16.
Look at you doing so good. You don't even need the party.
You're staunching the blood yourself.
I'll get to you as soon as I can.
Back to Yin Li. Your knee took a blow, but if you want to still be on its back, you can be.
Okay. I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself. And then I'm going to just try to stay on it. And that's a 20 for the athletics.
It got a 17.
Still hanging
So
out.
you're still there.
All right. And
You rode that buck and bronco. Yin Li, secretly a cowgirl.
unfortunately, since the other spell is level 1, I can't do that. But that'll end my turn.
Okay. We're back to Mortimer. It has
Okay.
20 hit points left. There are 20 hit points between you and a luau.
So I pre-rolled everything.
Okay.
So Mortimer is going to throw a dagger. And he got a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And so he throws the dagger, and it does 9 points of damage, piercing. And
Oh, right in the boar's eye.
Yeah, it comes right back to his hand. And he's like, Chauncey, finish it! And Chauncey gets a 23 to hit.
Also hits.
And I rolled max damage, which is
that
10
more than
damage.
11?
It's 10. 10
Okay.
force damage. So you can imagine my disappointment when I rolled max damage for both my attacks, and it's one shy of killing the damn thing.
Oh, well.
Your disappointment.
Good news.
That's how it rolls.
Good news
sometimes.
is I just crit.
So,
For my turn.
there you go.
Yeah, there's still one turn between you guys and the boar.
But yeah, that's my turn. He just chucks a dagger, gets it in the eye. Chauncey is grabbing like a rib and holding on tight, and you just hear the motors in his jaw. So,
The boar stumbles and falls to its knees. The massive creature has been pre-seasoned with pineapples, pre-pulverized. And Mary, this might be the last turn.
I crit on my
So
Eldritch
from
Blast.
up in the tree, she Eldritch blasts. So that means that you definitely hit, and you probably do 1 or more damage. So, where do you hit the boar?
I will say I was aiming for the neck.
Okay, there's a chunk of neck missing in the boar, and it goes down with like
Like a giant boar falling over.
yeah. So the giant boar thuds as it hits the ground heavily. We're talking like a very, 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 very. It's a huge beast. All the meat you could possibly want for the party, and with its, you're like, you guys have fought really hard, and then Moxie, go ahead and do a saving throw. I just want to
I'm
know if
gonna-
you recover without them.
5.
Alright, I'm gonna
Oh.
drop out of the tree and cure wounds her.
I was
Okay.
about to do
And
that,
with that-
or spare the dying, depending on how it went.
Mary and Yin Li rush forward and save Moxie.
Well, cure wounds wakes her up, spare the die, and just puts her at 0.
Right. No, I mean, I've got cure wounds as well. I just was going to do one or the other depending on if I needed to make an action.
right.
Moxie, the first thing you notice when you wake up is the smell of a boar. They don't smell great. And it's huge, and it's right next to you. It looks like when it fell, it missed you by inches. You're laying next to it's a huge beast, giant boar.
Moxie looks straight at Yin Li and goes, "No, I was definitely Tyr. All right, that hurt."
Now-
Feel for 9.
Instead of Moxie over Amiri, it's Amiri over Moxie.
All right. We
Just
should
And I will lay hands on myself.
we
for some
should
more
really
healing.
get all of this meat off of the floor and up into the trees as quickly as possible. I think maybe that was the problem in the beforehand. So
Yeah, they did
We
say
could
that
do
they
that.
can't climb, so as long as we get it out of range, we're good.
yes.
Yeah, we'll start
So
hoisting this guy.
I will use my extensive intelligence to concoct some sort of like pulley system, if need be, or whether it's using just ropes over branches to aid in the lifting of all of this weight.
I'm
And I'm super strong.
going to take one of the dead danger birds and raise an accursed servant. And then also use unseen servant to have the two of them together working to try and help with that.
All right. I have quickly looked up some pulley math formulas, and it turns out that the tension on both sides of the pulley system can be calculated. T1 equals M1 times A1, and T2 equals M2 times A2. So, for example, the mass of the first object equals 3 grams. The mass of the second object equals 6 grams, and both sides of rope have the same acceleration equal to 6.6 meters squared. So
Sure.
if you pull on this pulley, and what I vaguely remember from physics class is I was like, each pulley half the weight.
Yes.
So confirmed, quick Google search. So you can half the weight of the boar with each pulley that you add.
Yeah.
So
it
how
halves,
many?
It halves
rolled
the
a
weight, but it
19.
doubles the
That's how
distance you have to
strong.
pull.
Yes. So you pull an incredibly long distance of rope, and it's like lifting something the size of Chauncey. So easy.
Yeah.
You can do it. And you quickly get the boar up into the branches. Now, all of you are about 50 feet off of the ground, trying to climb back up, when underneath you, a Tyrannosaurus Rex stalks by. But there's no time for that today. You continue up into the trees, glad that you have your pulley systems. And although it's going to take you, let's say, the rest of the evening maybe to get this giant boar and 2 cassowaries back, you're able to go back up to Sukla.
Well then.
As we're heading up, I'm just going to make the sound of thunder close to the T-Rex to try and spook it away from us.
Ooh, roll an intimidation check. Let's see what happens with the T-Rex.
I could. Oh.
$19.
It rolled a nat 20, so it looks at you and leaps, and with its little arms misses you.
Oh.
One of these
so you are
days.
all back.
I've got a big head and little arms. I don't think this was very well thought out.
Best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So you're all back in the town of Sukla, where you thought you were nervous about these wooden rope bridges before. Now you're very nervous because this boar is huge sized. So
Can
the
we just latch it to a
townspeople's-
tree?
yeah, yeah, you've got it. You don't even put it on one of the rope bridges. You just have it tied right to the tree.
I'm going to straighten my hair up real quick.
Yeah, definitely say I need a brush.
Yeah. Gonna need a brush over here real quick before maybe boar bristle. We've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You
could have
can-
boar bristle brushes.
All right,
If you would
then.
like to harvest some boar bristles for boar bristle brushes, please
Yes.
roll some kind of check to get the bristles.
I got a 19 on a survival check.
Definitely, you're able to collect those
Yeah.
bristles.
It's really good.
19 out of
here.
sleight of hand.
21 on a survival.
Yes, and yes.
I
We
also
all
have
have-
a 21 on the survival.
Okay, you all have
But
one custom-made boar bristle brush that you're going to
I
make
only-
over the next few days.
I only make it about like the bristles about that much. It's on a stick that's about that long, and I use it for my teeth. I call it a brush tooth.
You
And
could
You
have made a boar hair wig.
Why?
All right.
and that's a
Towns-
18 to try and
townspeople,
take
let's
one
party.
of the tusks.
Sure. You get the tusk. You have one wild boar tusk.
All right.
I-
So, who do we
Okay,
need to
so
speak to
Mally, Cheryl, Lint all come out from their shops, super amazed that you're able to bring this massive boar up with you. What are you going to say to each of them?
I'm gonna toss one of those pineapples over to Cheryl. Be like, "Is that the fruit you were looking for?"
She takes a bite out of it and is like, it's too thick to bite through. I don't
No,
understand.
no, they inside there. Here, let me help you with that. Chop it open.
She licks the inside of it and she's like, whew! It's like licking a warhead. Like, yeah, wow. I can
Yeah.
make something out of this.
Here you go. I brought you. Here's the whole plant right here. I've got that for you.
I got you some too.
And I kind of like the idea of that tusk. Do you mind if I try to snag that other one there?
Sure, roll a survival check.
All right.
We also have all these flowers for somebody. I think somebody wanted flowers.
It's an 11.
An 11, you get 3/4 of the length of the tusk. You
Oh, that's
broke it at the
fine.
base.
I want to make a horn out of it.
You can. Yes. So, Mortimer was talking about flowers.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
you have a bunch of flowers.
I believe it was Mally wanted flowers for something.
Yeah. Mally is going to turn those flowers into delicious confectionaries. She coats them with sugar. She preserves them. If you ever wanted a crunchy sweet flower on top of a cupcake, super cute. And it's all crystallized in sugar and adorable. She gives you some kohakto, which are like little, they look like gems, except you can eat them, and they're a little chewy on the inside.
And Yinli is going to just use her sickle and shovel and work with the accursed servant and unseen servant to just start cutting up the boar to make it easier to take across.
About the boar. So you guys spend the next 3 days cutting the boar up, feasting upon it. Everyone in the town gets some. There's so much meat. It is. Oh, and there's cassowary, of course, chicken for those who don't want the boar meat.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also cakes from Cheryl with she turns the pineapple into a delicious pineapple upside down cake. It's
Ooh.
so sweet but tangy. You know, it's got that kick to it. It's not like any other fruit. Mally turns the flowers into delicious sugared crunchy flour toppings for the cupcakes that Cheryl is making, and Lint accepts the pineapple plant from you, but he just looks sadly at his beans, and the 3 days pass. You guys drink a lot and lose track of time, and a week has gone by. You're so full on boar, you're patting your belly.
And I
So
talked to
happy
Mally
and
and
full.
Cheryl about opening a shop.
Yes, you arrange that. They're going to ship you cupcakes and sugary goods to be sold in Nicomoy that you can take a commission on if you arrange the shop in Nicomoy, and then they'll ship you it for their normal prices, which is for Nicomoy. It's a big city. Like, that's no problem compared to this small town. So, yeah, you can, let's say that you make 100 gold every 5 episodes from that.
Okay,
All right.
that works.
And a week has passed. Everybody, please examine your ceramic coins. Oh, and it was a luau, of course. There was roasted pineapple, roasted boar.
We have pretty grass skirts, right? Made from the vines.
Of
Yeah.
course.
All right, yeah.
At one point, Mortimer tries drinking just for shits and giggles, and he just makes a mess all over himself because he has no bottom part of his jaw just falls right through.
Oh.
Embarrassed though, he tries this, juggling to distract from him being soaked in beer. He pulls off a hand and a foot and his head, and he's juggling.
Don't drop those.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody looks at their coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
21
Perception
perception.
check.
Well, it's a 10. I got a 10.
18.
16.
With all of your different rolls, they're still porcelain.
Ah. All right, then. Well, I'm
I
going to
guess
just go
there's,
check with Lent. He seemed disappointed with the results of our adventure.
Okay, you are talking to Lint, and he's like, yeah, I wish I knew what I could do with these bean pods. I don't know. They were Mom's special project, and I always wanted to do something with them. Dad liked the way they tasted, but I think there's something more that has to be done.
Right? Can I do like an investigation check or something?
Sure, go ahead and roll.
What
Try
about
to-
a knowledge?
Going to try ritual to detect magic on them.
They are not magical.
All right. 14.
You think that maybe you should talk to Mally or Cheryl about what they've been up to with beans.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, you just hold that thought right there. I'll be back in a flash.
You can make a nice little bean bread or
Hey,
something
Mally.
for people that.
I go over to Mally's first. You remember those beans we dropped off?
Mally and Cheryl are hanging out at the luau. Everybody's singing and dancing. Nobody's
Oh.
done any work for a week. Everybody's drinking, having a good time, and eating boar. And she totally forgot about those beans. And she left them in her shop. Oh no! And she remembers, and she runs over to her shop, and she opens up the box that she put them in. And in this box, the crate lid opens, and when it opens, a puff of hot air comes out because these beans have been fermenting in there. You guys ever
Oh.
seen how compost gets kind of hot? Yeah, so it's a waft of something, an odor, shall we say, comes out at you from this box. It no longer smells like it used to smell. Before, these beans were pink, kind of remind you of raspberry, kind of like a yogurt. They remind you of raspberry yogurt. Now, the beans are brown, and they remind you of carob. They've got a rich tone to them, smooth. How would you guys describe chocolate?
I'm going to grab one and just pop it in my mouth. Let's see.
Okay.
I'm testing for poison.
Right. So normally when food rots, it tastes worse. This tastes delicious.
Yeah, pass me a little bit of that sugar over there real quick.
And Moxie has solved it. Working together, Mally, Cheryl, and Lint are able to combine the fermented cocoa beans, named after their father and mother, of course, the sugar from Mally, the confectionist, and roasting them brings out their flavor even more from Cheryl, the baker. And together, you guys have made Nikomoy's first chocolate.
Oh.
Congratulations! Woo! Everybody gets a chocolate bar to take home.
Moxie would like there to be some sort of tear-themed chocolate bar.
Yes, there's some of the chocolate has no right hand. Some of the chocolate is it looks like wolves, and then you have to bite them to eat them. So
Yeah.
yeah. And
What
little
about, like, a little-
wolf-shaped chocolates are sold where you have to eat Fenrir every time.
Well, were-tiger one.
Yeah. Little were-tiger chocolates. And that concludes this adventure. Our heroes have brought chocolate to the world of Nikomoy. Joining us this time were Yen Lee,
Goodbye.
Mortimer,
See you later.
Moxie,
Partying is such sweet sorrow, but this chocolate is also delicious. So, win-win.
and Mary.
And we have brought chocolate to Nikomoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. You can find more adventures on Amazon.com in the bookstore Fire Breathing Kittens, all one word, podcast. We also have official merchandise on Redbubble.com. Go to Redbubble.com and search for works from your favorite characters such as Frath, Amonist, Azreen, and more.